Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the HCW YouTube channel, and welcome back to a Indy Spotlight review. And for once, it's me and DP. We're back in a wonderful time, and we're here to discuss Wrestle Carnival's latest show. I believe it was called Survival of the Fittest. I said Fittest there. Fittest, which was last Sunday. Don't quote me on that. I think it was, yeah. So we're going to discuss this. It was an extravaganza where you brought a ticket and you got a free ticket because they were nice enough to say that. So my mate, who was coming anyway, got a free ticket. I didn't get a free ticket. I was the one that paid for the ticket.
Oh.
But DP, anyway, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. It's been a week. It's been a week and a half, but yeah it's been all right. How are you?
Yeah, I'm living the dream. I'm now off for 2 days, which I need because I've been managing a team and it's killing me. But yeah, this show, it was on a Sunday. Let me discuss the terrible time I had after the show. So basically, without going, I don't really want to go into it as much, but so I live in Warsaw, Black Country, Warsaw. It was in Coventry, so I had to get a train back. Someone, they announced it as someone being hit by a train. So every train was fucking cancelled. I didn't get back for like 3 to 4 hours later because I didn't want to get buses because the buses get rammed with the people that were supposed to be on the trains and you feel like a sardine for 50 minutes and I weren't having it. So the ending was great. I just wanted to throw that out. How it was me, Carl Robinson was there at one point. We're all stuck at places. Carl decided to get the bus back. I wasn't having any of it. No. And but we'll discuss the actual event.
Yes.
So the event itself was quite packed out. Obviously, it did help with the free ticket. A lot of people got to use. And it was called Survival of the Fittest due to there was a Survival of the Fittest tournament, which was 4 matches. Winners went on to the main event to win a chance at fighting DeReese at the next Carnival show.
Fair enough.
I'll be honest, the atmosphere on this show was quite dead. It seemed like, I don't know what it was, but the fans didn't seem fully like engaged, as in like they were watching, but there wasn't any kind of energy with the fans. Like I'll be honest, I'm not one of these people that's fucking shouting and chanting and stuff like that. So I didn't really help with the atmosphere, but like it was just quite, there was not really an atmosphere there. I don't know if it was because Impact was basically, this show got pushed back because Impact had the 2 days at the Empire. So I don't know if everyone that was already wrestled out at that point, or if it was the format of the show, because the 4 Survival of the Fittest matches were all 10-minute matches. As in, like, there was a cut-off of 10 minutes and none of them got to 10 minutes. Like, they were all like around about 5-6 minutes long. So I don't know if it was just the essence of that, or we'll go through it as we go along. So we kicked off with, I don't know if you've ever seen either person. Have you seen Jetta live before?
I've seen Jetta live before, yes.
Yeah. The true legend of British wrestling. And Ivy.
Not in live, but I know she's part of the Decibels with Lana Roston.
Yeah, Ivy's fucking brilliant. First time I've seen her live, and she's hilarious because she went like, her character is a Karen, but not a Karen. Like, she denies that she's a Karen, but she has a megaphone in the middle of the match shouting at people.
Yeah.
So, you know. And Jetta comes out to, I can't remember her name now. It just won't get any better, that song. Just any better. Boom, boom, boom.
I know of it,
yeah, that one. But obviously the song's changed slightly too because her name's Jetta. Normally the fans are very into it, but at the start, like, no one was really like into the song, which made me sad. I don't have any notes match-wise because we weren't originally going to be reviewing this. I have my star ratings, but we weren't going to originally review it. I rated the match 2.5 stars. Ivy picked up the win and picked up the Wrestle Carnival female title. So that was a big thing there. It was a very solid match. Both people did what they needed to do. Ivy cheated. Very much cheated. She tried to use the ring. Yeah, the referee had no idea what was going on. Absolute no idea. She buried the, yeah, not buried the ref, but she bamboozled the ref completely. And she picked up the win. So a 2.5-star match to start off the show.
Fair enough.
And then we kicked into the 4 matches for the Survival of the Fittest tournament. They were all back to back. So it was Jack Bandicoot, and it was supposed to be Liam Slater, but they announced advance to the show that Liam couldn't be there, and he's going to be back at the next show, hopefully, I believe. I think he's already been announced. And he was facing, yeah.
So was it Liam or Leon?
Leon, not Liam. I realised
Oh, okay,
they're fucking the
sorry.
same person.
Yeah.
Leon Slater. So they announced that he'll be back. But so Jet Marshall replaced him. You're not very aware of Jet Marshall, are you?
Not really, no.
Yeah, he wrestles for Rise and so forth up there. I saw him last week at Bridge Pro Wrestling, and he's a very good technical wrestler. He's got the basics down. He wasn't like very crowd orientated as a face, but both of them were face wrestlers.
Right.
Jack Bandicoot picked up the win in the match. I rated 2 3/4 stars. It was a good match. But it was good. We'll get to the point of these matches. As I said with you, they were all 10 minutes long, and none of them reached 10 minutes. So they're about 6 or 7 minute matches. So you couldn't really get invested. As in, like, by the time you're invested, it's done.
There's not enough time. Yeah.
Yeah. So Jet Marshall picked up the win in that. This was followed by Alexander Roth. Are you aware of Alexander?
Yeah, one half of the 8-7.
Yeah, there we go.
One part of the 8-7, sorry.
Against Riley Nova, who is one of Joseph Connor's trainees. He's part of the Bread for Better tag team. Very good. He's in BCCW a lot. I rate this 2.5 stars. Alexander Roth won. The big part of this match was, do you know Lance Rivera? Or Rivera,
Yes.
sorry, Lance Rivera.
Rivera, yeah.
Yeah, he came down and kind of distracted Riley Nova, and Alexander Roth picked up the win. Rated 2.5 stars. It was a fine match. Like, no match on this card was bad. It was just a lot of, you don't realise with a lot of matches, it's the fans that kind of add to the match.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas if there's kind of silence, it just feels awkward.
Yeah, if it's a quiet atmosphere and doesn't really add much to the atmosphere and the overall vibe of the show. Not even the show, it's just the match in general that you're watching. But
yeah,
it's not ideal.
Yeah, like I said, Alexander Roth, he put on a really good showing. He's going to be he's at the next show, so he definitely should put on a great showing. Riley Nova's always good. He's very good in BCCW.
Yeah.
Then we had a triple threat match, another Survival of the Fittest match. We had Jordan Saeed versus Lance Rivera versus Miles Kamen. Are you aware of Miles?
I know of his name through Carnival, and that's it.
Yeah. He wrestles TNT as well. He's part of the tag team, which I think I discussed with Miles. Miles' is dad. This is Miles. This is Miles' dad's son.
Right.
Miles in this show was a bad man. I rated 2.5 stars. He picked up the win. Once again, it was just a solid match. Lack the time kind of let these matches down because they didn't really get to push on. But Miles came and picked up the win in this. There was a brief interval, about 10-15 minutes, and then we had the final for Survival of the Fittest match, which was a match I was really looking forward to, which was George Lydon versus CJ Rollins. George Lydon is massive in the West Midlands, and obviously he's sprouting around everywhere else, but like he's massive. CJ Rollins is very, very underappreciated, and it's only been like the last year and a half, 2 years, where I think everyone's realised how good he is as a wrestler. Have you managed to see him?
Not in person, neither of them, but I'm aware of both of them through online, just like, watching VODs and whatever. But
Yeah. CJ Rollins is an absolute animal. Massive guy, and he's athletic, but he's a powerhouse as well. He's like the triple threat of wrestling. I rated the match 2 3/4. CJ ended up just getting disqualified in the match because there's a bit of a rivalry going on with George Lydon. Check out previous Wrestle Carnival shows for that. And he beat the absolute crap out of George afterwards. And George was then injured. So he won't be competing later on. But we will find out. because he might be competing later on. But yeah, that was the end of the Survival Fittest until the final. And as I said, I think that's what was getting the crowd and a lot of people was. The main things are it was 10 minutes long each match, so you knew there wasn't like any jeopardy. Like it didn't get to the 10-minute mark. Every match finished. There wasn't anyone always like 9 minutes 59 seconds. Always someone, or are they both going to get eliminated? It's just it ended, but all of them ended. I thought George Lydon versus CJ Rollins would go to a draw because I just wanted a long match with them. Obviously, I couldn't because it was 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, I think that's part of the issue though with a show like this as well. Like, not necessarily like it's not a bad concept. It's just the idea of having 4 matches that are limited to 10 minutes long. You've got people who fast-paced action, high-intensity action, and you can't fit everything that they would normally fit in within a 10-minute time frame.
Yeah,
Like, if it's an opening match, that's fine. But like after that, you're looking at these talents who do 15, 20-minute matches, who are then forced to essentially cut their work in half to. And again, I know it's because they're going to be wrestling later on in the night if they win, but it's the idea of just limiting talents because they can't necessarily do what they would have wanted or what they're used to doing. And then I think
yeah.
that, yeah, I think that sort of takes it out of the fans who, want to see longer matches. Not about you in particular, but just in general, I think people want to see longer
No,
matches
it's not even long
with stars.
matches. It's like I don't mind like if it broke the 10-minute mark. A few of them just like broken. I don't want to see every match going 25 minutes because that would kill the crowd. The opposite effect.
Yeah.
But it's like people like George Lydon and CJ Rollins. You want to see them go a bit longer. Like for a 6 minutes match is not something you really want to see. And I think the trouble which I spoke to a few people about was like overall, like for me, it was fine to watch. Like this is the kind of show that I would enjoy because I watch a lot of wrestling around the country and around thingy. But there was a lot of people that were there either because it's a free ticket, so it's their first chance of seeing wrestling, or it's people that burned out from Impact, so forth like that. But a lot of these wrestlers are not Midlands-based wrestlers. Like they're
Right.
not like people like Jet Marshall, which is fair enough because Leon Slate was not booked. Alexander Roth, you would know him because of your connection to London. Jordan Saeed, Lance Rivera, Miles Kamen. They're probably slightly regular to see to Wrestle Carnival, but like if you're new to that event, you wouldn't know who they are.
Yeah.
Which is no reflection on them. It's just obviously that's the trouble with if people like casual fans. So they got involved in the George Lydon and the CJ because they're a bit more local. But we'll move on to the second half. So we had Alexia Morgan. Alexia Morgan? That doesn't sound right. Alexia and Nicole, isn't it? Yeah, why have I wrote Alexia Morgan there? Charlie Morgan, it's supposed to... Yeah, that's what's happened there. So we had Alexia Nicole. Let me edit that on my notes. It's because I was writing Charlie Morgan first. Versus Charlie Morgan. So for anyone that's not aware, Alexia Nicole is massive wrestler from Canada. She's like huge in Canada. She's wrestled for AEW a few times. And she was debuting Wrestle Carnival against Charlie Nicole, and mixed their names up. God damn it, Charlie Morgan. I rated 2 3/4 stars. It was a fun match. For people that are aware of Alexia Nicole, you got to see the best of her in this match. For people that aren't aware of her, like it's just once again it's just another person that you aren't aware of. But yeah, I enjoyed the match. 2 3/4 stars. Both had good offense. Charlie Morgan looked great as usual, and it was just nice to see Alexia Cole live.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. How short is she? How short is she in person?
She didn't. I think Charlie Morgan's not a tall person at the same time, so it didn't really show. Like, is she known as a small Alexia Nicole? In my head, I can't picture her being small.
I think she's like 5'2", something like that.
According to Cage Match, she's 4'11". Okay, then.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah, no.
I always thought like a Layla Hirsch sort of situation.
Yeah, like Charlie Morgan's about 5'6", so like there was 7 inches difference, but like it's one of them ones where like if she was wrestling like Great Khali, I might have gone whoa. She like. I didn't really pay attention, I'm going to be honest, to the size difference, clearly. But yeah, no, I enjoyed the match.
That's fair enough. It was a good match to watch, and sounds like one of the better matches on the card, on paper anyway.
Yeah. To be fair, Wrestle Carnival, the second half finished strong. Like, we'll go through the last few matches, obviously, 'cause that's what we're going to be doing now. So next up was a kind of a random match, I'll be honest. It was Cole Radrick, people aware of GCW. America, he was wrestling for Kamikaze last week, versus Flash Morgan Webster. This is the first time I've seen Flash in so long live, and it was good to see him live. Like, I haven't seen him probably since Progress Days, Kamikaze when he was there. I rated 3.25 stars. It was just a fun match. Cole was trying to be like, he's the fan, kind of being the fan favourite, but everyone was cheering for Flash. But I think Flash was trying to be the heel in the match, and it was kind of like it was hard to not cheer for Flash more than Webster. But it was nice to see Cole in just a single match, because at Kamikaze was in a ladder match, so it was just an absolute clusterfuck. I think Flash picked up the win in this match. I don't remember the ending. I've rated 3.25 stars, but I'm sure Flash Morgan Webster picked up the win in the end of this match, which probably made sense because he's going to be at Wrestle Carnival a lot more than Cole Redrick's going to be. But Cole's great to see live. Both matches I've seen him, he was fun. Flash Morgan Wester's always great to see live.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I think I last saw him in a tag match with Mark Andrews, but yeah, other than that, I don't think Flash in a singles match, but I know he's really good from what I saw in NXT UK and all that. But like in general, like this sounds like a one of those like exhibition matches that you sort of see every now and then on shows, and it just sounds like one of those ones to bring an import in and do good work. Like,
yeah, it was my second favourite match of the card. Like, I like both guys, and the crowd got behind it. I think Cole has that kind of like, a lot of people wouldn't know who he is, but it's one of he's the kind of character that can get people to like him.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
We will move on to my match of the night, which was the match prior to the Fittest final. So we had the Charles Crowley Invitational. Are you aware who he fought?
I don't know who he fought. No.
Charles Crowley fought Chris fucking Ridgway. Oh, it was so good. I rated 3.5 stars. They brawled around. Obviously, I'm not. They brawled around the arena, so you couldn't see as much because unless you follow it, which I'm not one of these people that fucking runs and follows the shit. Chris Ridgway absolutely fucking annihilated Charles for a lot of this. With his technical prowess, he ripped off his boot, working on the foot, just absolutely kicking the crap out of him. Charles got a bit of loss since that point. Both guys were back and forth at that point. I believe, once again, I don't remember the result. Cage match. Someone needs to update Cage Match. This show isn't on Cage Match net, and it's ruined my life. But yeah, I rated 3.5 stars. I believe Chris Ridgway won. May not have.
What you said.
Yeah, may not have. And I do apologise, Charles, if you see this and I robbed you of a win. I don't think you care. But we'll move on to the main event. So it's the Survival of the Fittest. It was Alexander Roth versus CJ Rollins versus Jack. No, it wasn't CJ Rollins. Oh, fucking, it's because I've typed this prior. That's confusing me. It's Jack Bandicoot, Alexander Roth, and Miles Kamen, and George Lydon, until he got thrown out due to him being injured, because he got attacked by Miles Kamen on the way down. So it was a triple threat. And then George Lydon returned. So it was then a fatal four-way again. I rated 3 stars. The match was fine. Miles Kamen picked up the win, and he is now the number 1 contender, and he's going to be fighting man like the Reese at the next show. It was a better performance from all the guys due to they didn't have a time limit. So they all had a thing. I think it was elimination as well. Don't comment on that. Don't quote me on that. But I believe it was elimination. But Miles Kamen picked up the win.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it sounds like they're building stock in someone for the future as well. I'm not fully familiar with the work of Miles Kamen, but to me, he sounds like a young talent, someone who's like not on the scene, but someone who's like a regular fixture at Wrestle Carnival and someone who they want to push. So like Lars Rivera as well. Like he's one of those guys that I consider is one of those like guys who are not necessarily that well known, but they're known to the Carnival universe.
Yeah.
So I think that putting more stock in those guys and putting more stock in them, raise them up or whatever. I don't think Kamen's beating Darius across the line, but it would be good to get him in that spotlight and it's good to get him that sort of match as well for the title.
Look at you knowing the title on the next show. Tell me who's on the next show, DP.
Darius.
Yep.
Emerson Jane.
Yes. You're scrolling, aren't you? I can see you scrolling.
I'm not.
Jonathan Gresham's on the next show. Jordan Oliver's on the next show. going to be a good show. And I believe Leon Slater is back on the next show, as I said.
Mhm.
But yeah, so overall, Wrestle Carnival, like, it was a decent show for me, but I don't think the crowd was fully invested into it. The end of the show was good. The last few matches were better. But yeah, overall, it was fine. Wasn't. It was just fine. Like I said, like it's a new company getting to find their way, and I feel like they just overstacked it a bit with people that you wouldn't know, and then the matches in the middle let
Yeah.
them down due to the only having 10 minutes to kind of shine.
Yeah,
But
I feel like what you said with that, with the like the free tickets scenario.
yeah,
I feel like that didn't help with things like bringing in these newer guys, that these casual fans or newer fans who are not necessarily going to know who these people are
yeah,
as
exactly.
well.
It's one of them ones. But we will see at the next show if I comment the same thing. Then who knows? But as usual, like and subscribe. Description, link in the description for Wrestle Carnival, Twitter and so forth like that. We are doing more shit as we go along. We're recording an Indie extravaganza literally now. As soon as this video ends, so I believe this will be out before then. So yeah. I've got an EA series where I'm slowly going insane. Watch it on Twitch. I'm on most days except for Tuesdays and Thursdays if Frozzy tells me he's streaming then doesn't stream. Yeah, I'm calling him out. And then yeah, the podcast is dead, unfortunately, but there's HCW squared. I'm going to be on it this weekend because I'm forced to do stuff. I've got to watch Rampage. At one point, I was going to be watching NXT, but I fucking worked out that DP could watch NXT. He isn't leaving till tomorrow, so he's watching NXT.
Yep.
Probably the better
Fun.
show. An hour of Rampage is probably worse than 2 hours of NXT, but we'll find out.
It depends really, but
To
yeah.
be fair, I bet the card for fucking Rampage is already out, isn't it? Because they.
I did look. I couldn't find it.
Okay, yeah, they must do it live then. Who knows? Wonderful. That's good. But yep, that's the end of the review. I'll do a bit of my random tangent. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, DP.
Goodbye, Ray. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, Wrestle Carnival. Oh, yeah!